Recently I was in Jerusalem, and I stood there with my feet together, and as we do in this most important prayer, talking in a whisper, right near the wall, the kotel we call it. Some people call it the Wailing Wall. This is part of the Holy Temple that was destroyed about 2,000 years ago. There were actually two temples in that same spot. And from when I was 5 years old, every day when I'd pray, 3 times a day, the prayer included something about Jerusalem. After I'd have a meal, I'd say something about Jerusalem. At my wedding, at the happiest moment, we'd smash a glass, and we'd crash it because it's a mourning about the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem. It's just this pervasive thing. And there I was standing in this special place saying, God, we've always hoped to you, and here I am in this holy place near the temple, this 3,000-year place.
Considering it's such a holy place, and we believe that many of the prophets have been there, and especially the major prophets like Moses and Jesus and the Prophet Muhammad. So to have so much conflict and so much pain and so much bloodshed and anguish there, it saddens me greatly. And not only does it sadden me, in terms of the situation currently, personally I think it's unacceptable, and I think any reasonable human being would say that it's unacceptable. All the suffering, all the bloodshed, all the hatred, all the enmity that's going on there. I think that it's very important for us as people to take some responsibility to try and alleviate that situation, to come to some sort of agreement about how they can live in that holiest of places. The only way to get to peace, the only way to get to an agreement, to get some sort of justice, was to walk along that path by listening to the other side and thinking about what was important to me overall.
And in a sense, I guess, in our relationship, we came to some agreement about some very important principles, about violence being a terrible thing, about conflict needing to be minimized, about people who are not in the conflict being protected. We agreed about those things. But there are other things we couldn't agree about in the history of exactly what happened all those thousands of years, and what happened when, and all that is something we couldn't reach an agreement about. But we could be comfortable with being uncomfortable with that, you know, recognizing, yes, my community feels certain things, your community feels certain things, I feel certain things, you feel certain things. They're not all the same, but it doesn't need to be, you know. We can still work together in Australia as long as we've got some common ground which we were able to establish. We don't have to agree about everything.